Good health to all from Rexall.
You've got to start off each day with a song. Now even when things go wrong, you feel better, you even look better. Yes, folks, this is the Jimmy Durante half hour of charm. With 42 violins, 23 woodwinds, and featuring Morris and his magic kazoo. Don't laugh, folks. We couldn't afford Evelyn.
Yes, from Hollywood, it's the new Jimmy Durante Show with Arthur Treacher, Peggy Lee, Candy Candido, Roy Bargy and his orchestra, our Rexall sportscaster Tommy Harmon, yours truly, Howard Petrie, and as our special guest tonight, Eddie Cantor. Brought to you by 10,000 Rexall drugstores, who carry the complete line of top-quality Rexall drug products. And here he is in person, the star of our show, the one and only Arthur Treacher.
Even when things are adverse, you feel superb, even your appearance will improve. Oh!
Wait a minute. What was that? It sounded like the mating call of a wounded anchovy. Mr. Treacher, you're quite satisfied with yourself, aren't you?
Why, yes, as a matter of fact, I thought it was jolly good, old boy. Don't you think it advisable for me to open the show every week?
Mr. Treacher, I warn you, I have influential friends in the immigration department. I could have you deported to San Badoo. Straight whispered to Hatchapee.
Oh, come, dear boy, let's not antagonize the sponsor. I rather think he'd like me to open the show.
Oh, you think so, huh? Well, I happen to have a letter from the sponsor, sprinkled with sachet, of course, which says, Dear Mr. Durante, I listened to your opening program last week, and in my opinion, your lustreless witticisms were not only devoid of humorous consultations, but in addition, they completely lack the spontaneity to arouse my irritabilities. And, Treacher, there's just one thing I want to know.
What's that?
Do you think I ought to ask for more money?
Well, James, I was requested to open the show by this chap here, our new director, Smedley.
You mean to say, Mr. Smedley, you put Treacher on, a Cockney comic, instead of me? Aren't you a bit prejudiced?
On the contrary, old kipper, old fruit, old codfish, on the contrary.
Oh, a Hungarian.
Mr. Durante, if you are inferring that this is a conspiracy, permit me to assure you of my unimpeachable integrity.
And mine, too.
How do you like that? I'm surrounded by a couple of honest John Bulls.
Oh, come off it, old fruit, old fish cake, old bean.
Old fruit, old fish cake, old bean. To this guy, everybody's an 85-cent blue plate.
I say, Treacher, this chap has quite a good bit of cheek.
To say nothing of a good deal of nose.
Mr. Durante, I consider you very unchivalrous.
Well, you, sir, are unscrupulous.
You, sir, are a prevaricator.
And you, sir, are a rehearsable cockatrice. Shall we try a round of two-syllable words?
Arthur, I've had my fill of this blighter. I'm leaving.
Well, I can't say I blame you, Smedley, dear boy, but have patience. In time we'll wear the blighter down. Chin up. Britannia, Britannia rules the way.
That's a nice tune, but it'll never replace Inca-Dinka-Doo.
James, you know, you should have no objections to my taking over, especially after the reviews of last week's program. Allow me to quote. The new Rexall show got off to a sparkling start due to the devastating wit of Arthur Treacher, who overcame a spotty and bungling performance by Schnozzle Durante.
What paper was that in?
The London Times.
I had an idea it wasn't the San Fernando shopping news.
And furthermore, James, don't you see that this program needs a man of the world with a flair for worldly wit? And who fits that description better than I? I've been to Nice, Monte Carlo, Budapest. Have you ever been to those places, James?
I don't know. When I get home, I'll look through my towels. I'm a collector, you know. I even have one from the YWCA. Smuggled out, of course. But what makes you think that I'm not a man of the world? I've been to Paris, London. I've took the baths at Deauville.
No, dear boy. You don't say I took the baths at Deauville. You say I watered at Deauville.
I watered at Deauville?
Where else did you water? Did you water at Baden-Baden?
No, but I salted at Vichy. I sailed fruit that was quite ripe. What?
Ripe is hardly the word.
Hello, everybody. Oh, there you are. I've been looking all over for you, you gorgeous hunk of man.
Thank you, Peggy.
Oh, hello, Jimmy. I didn't see you standing there.
Some days it don't even pay to get up.
Oh, Arthur, I want to thank you for this lovely tweed jacket you gave me for my brother.
Oh, don't mention it, dear girl.
Say, that is a lovely tweed jacket. You know, I got one home exactly like it.
You want to bet?
How generous of you, Mr. Treacher, but that jacket has sentimental value. I happen to have a peanut butter sandwich sewed in the lining.
Oh, Jimmy, don't take your jacket back. My brother will be terribly disappointed. He was going to wear it tonight.
Formal affair?
No, scavenger hunt.
Now, why all the fuss, old boy? You got a fair exchange. After all, Miss Lee left you a pair of her slacks.
Well, now, that's a handy item. What do you mean she left me a pair of her slacks? I didn't see no slacks.
See them? You're wearing them.
I am? How do you like that? I thought this drape was kind of droopy.
Oh, never mind the fit, Jimmy. In these times, people should economize, you
That's
know.
right, dear boy. After all, you know, some have and some have not.
That's the trouble with wearing Peggy's slacks. Where she has, I have not. Now you know that you can't go wrong. Why, if you start off each day with a song. All hail, the Rexall 1 cent sale.
The Rexall Original 1 cent sale will start next Wednesday, so don't you fail to shop in this nationwide Rexall spree and take the advice of our Peggy Lee.
To Rexall's Original 1 cent sale, better bring a basket, better bring a pail. You find 2 of everything comes in handy, and only costs a penny more, doesn't it, Candy?
Soup for the price of 1 plus a penny more. And man, that's value and furthermore. There's a super, a duper, a double feature. It's a prize contest. Tell them, preacher.
To top the occasion and add more zest, there's a $14,000 prize contest. Just finish a simple sentence and sign your name. That's all. Cheerio. Take it, James.
At Rexall's Original 1 cent sale, you save your money on a stupendous scale. It helps put inflation back on the skids. At Rexall's Original. Take it, kids.
Rexall's Original 1 cent sale. Ask your Rexall druggist for more detail. And don't forget to fill out your contest blank. Good shopping and for listening. Thanks.
Good health to all from Rexall.
You know, James, I think this is an ideal arrangement, me living in your house. You sleep in the bedroom downstairs, and I in the bedroom above.
Yes, but since this is my house, Treacher, there's a little favor I'd like to ask. Please stop hanging your long underwear out the window. I like sunshine, too, you know. And now, if you'll excuse me, old kipper, I should like to step out into the garden and water my petunias. There's nothing like petunias. Without petunias, life wouldn't be worth living. Wait a minute. What happened to my garden?
Oh, I've had it replanted. We ripped out the petunias and substituted rhododendrons with a border of nasturtiums and gladiolas flanked with creeping wisteria.
But I don't like rhododendrons with a border of nasturtiums and gladiolas flanked with creeping Worcestershire. All I want is petunias.
Petunias? How provincial. Now look at that lovely delphinium patch trimmed with hibiscus and hyacinths with trailing arbutus, and those lovely snapdragons with early bloomers.
But I'm not happy with delphiniums trimmed with hot biscuits and hyacinths trailing albumium. And I don't like snapdragons in anybody's blooming. All I want is petunias.
Ah, here's my valet. Candido, I've changed the sleeping arrangements. Mr. Durante is not happy with his room, so I'm putting him in with you. How does that strike you?
I'm feeling mighty low.
I ain't sleeping with that guy unless you put a muzzle on him. We got a dog here, too?
Oh, no, that's one of the puppies. The dog's in the backyard watching the goats.
Who needs goats?
I do. I gotta have goat's milk. The doctor says...
I'm very fragile.
Mr. Preacher, I don't mind telling you I'm not happy with all these changes you're making in my household. And furthermore, wait a minute, what happened to my living room furniture?
Well, I put it on the front lawn for an airing, and the Salvation Army took it away. But don't worry, I've had the whole place redecorated with Chippendale chairs, Sheraton consoles, and touches of Louis XIV.
But I don't like Chippendale chairs, Sheraton camisoles, and touches of Louis Casserole.
But Jimmy, you've got to have Chippendale chairs, Sheraton consoles, and touches of Louis XIV. It's very she-she.
I don't want a room that's she-she. I happen to be a he-he. I'm surrounded by assassins. Haven't I got a friend in the joint?
Of course you have, Jimmy. I'm here.
Ah, bless your heart, Peggy. Am I glad to see you?
And am I glad to see you, too, Jimmy. There's just one favor I want to ask you.
What's that, Peggy?
Could I have a lock of your hair?
Oh, that's touching. A lock of my hair? Do you want it for your locket?
No, but it would make a lovely raccoon tail for my brother's motorcycle.
A compliment well deserved. And confidentially, Peggy, I've written a song about you, but I can't think of a title. I've tried Peg of My Eye, Peg of My Ear, Peg of My Neck, Peg of My... Wait a minute. I got the title.
What are you going to call it?
I'm just wild about Harry.
Oh, that's very cute, Jimmy. But I've got a song I think you'll like better. How would you like All of Me?
Peggy, a comment at this point is superfluous. Sing, Peggy, sing.
All of me. Why not take all of me? Can't you see? I'm no good without you. Take my arms. I want to lose them. Take my lips. I'll never use them. Your goodbye left me with eyes
celebration. You'll be buying the best, maybe win the contest at the 1 cent sale celebration.
Yes, our Rexall 1 cent sale celebration is the biggest drugstore event in the nation. It's a chance to save while buying the best and win a $14,000 prize contest.
This 1 cent sale gets underway next Wednesday and lasts through Saturday, with hundreds of Rexall remedies and Rexall drug necessities at 2 for the price of 1 plus 1 cent more at every neighborhood Rexall store.
These are values no one can afford to be missing. And as for the contest prizes, just listen. First prize, a trip around the world by Pan American. Yes, sir. Or $5,000 if you prefer. Second prize, a vacation in Rio, 2 weeks of swank, or $2,500 in the bank. Third prize, a holiday in Hawaii, expenses for 2, or $1,000 mailed to you. Ask your Rexall druggist for full details next week during Rexall's 1 cent sale.
If you're eager to save and it's value you crave for relief from this doggone inflation, you'll be buying the best, maybe win the contest at the 1 cent sale celebration.
Good health to all from Rexall.
At last, I've got the house to myself. Now I can sit down at the piano and relax.
Excuse me, please. My name is Steinway. I came to scratch my name off the piano.
Eddie Cantor!
Thank you. On the level, Jimmy, you know it's awfully nice to visit with you.
Yes, Eddie, it sure is good to see you again. If you was a girl, I'd kiss you.
If I was a girl, Jessler would have married me long ago. Look, as far as I'm concerned, James Durante, you're the greatest in the game.
No, Eddie, you're the greatest in the game.
No, Jimmy, I insist you're the greatest in the game.
Please, Eddie, you're the greatest in the game.
Okay, you win, Jimmy. I am the greatest in the game.
I feel like the Dodgers. I was all right up to that last game.
You know, Jimmy, you and I have been together a long, long time, and I sure am proud of you. You're keeping right up to date on the fashions.
What do you mean?
You're the only man I know who's wearing the new ankle-length nose.
It used to be only knee length, but I let out the hem.
You let it out a little too much.
Eddie, you being here reminds me of old times, believe me.
Yes, Jimmy, we do go back a long time, don't we? Makes me think of the act I did with Gus Edwards years ago. I worked with a swell bunch of kids then. Walter Winchell, Irving Berlin, Harry Richmond, Georgie Price, and Al Jolson. And to think I made good. You know, Jimmy, I often wonder.
What?
Whatever became of those other kids?
Swallowed up by a cruel world. Eddie, it sure would be fun to relive those good old days when we were trying to get started in Coney Island.
Yeah.
Remember the Frankfurters at Feltman's and the good times we had at Perry's College Inn?
Yes, and remember when we were playing at Steuben's, and after the show I took that little blonde girl out and we held hands in the park?
It was wonderful.
Then I put my arm around her.
Marvelous.
Then I kissed her for 3 hours.
Yeah, I remember. Wait a minute. What am I laughing at? That was my girl.
Coney Island, those were the days, Jimmy. I was a singing waiter at Kerry Walters, and you were...
Yes?
The guy with the big nose. James, I said to you, James, let's quit Coney Island. Let's shoot for the moon. Let's go up and see the great Six out.
Fine. Maybe he'll give us a break.
That's right. How do you do, Mr. Zickfeld? We're Cantor and Durante. I don't know you, and you don't know me.
Why did you have to go and spoil it?
Please give us a chance, Mr. Zickfield. All we want is a straight 52-week contract at $5,000 a week with special material, tailored costumes, no matinees, meals sent in, star dressing rooms on the ground floor.
I'll give you $10 a week and you dress in the alley.
We better take it. He's meeting us halfway. please, Mr. Ziegfeld, we'll give you an idea of our act right now. Get over to the piano, Jimmy.
Let's go.
And then he'd row, row, row. Way up the river he would row, row, row. A hug he'd give her, he would kiss her now and then. She would tell him when.
He'd fool around, and then they'd kiss again.
And then he'd row, row, row. A little farther he would row, oh, 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 oh. Then he'd drop both his oars.
Take a few more on course,
And then he'd row, row, row. Well, sir, what do you think, Mr. Ziegfeld?
Well, I thought you were wonderful, Mr. Cantor. But being the showman I am, there's one thing I'd like to suggest.
And what's that?
Get rid of the guy with the big nose.
My nose isn't big. I just happen to have a very small head. That was many years ago. And Eddie, I'll never forget when Ziegfeld said, get rid of the guy with the big nose, and how you stuck up for me.
Yes, but Jimmy, while I was talking to Ziegfeld about you, why did you run out on me?
Eddie, I knew we went as far as we could go together, and I figured Ziggy wanted you, not me. And believe me, what a thrill I got when I saw you in the Follies of 1917. I'll never forget what a sensation you were when you came out in blackface and white gloves and sang. What was the name of that song, Eddie?
Oh, I know. Yes, sir, that's my baby. No, sir, I don't mean maybe. Yes, sir, that's my baby now.
Boy, what a hit you were that night. And little did you think that one day Warner Brothers would make your life story.
Yeah, they're working on it right now.
Too bad they didn't make it sooner, or they could have called it Life with Father.
Oh, that's no good, Jimmy. When you've been a father as long as I have, no life.
You had plenty of life when you appeared in the Follies of 1919. What was that big song hit you had then?
Oh, the boys were coming home from the war, and I sang, how you gonna keep 'em down on the farm after they've seen Paris?
What a song!
How you gonna keep 'em away from Broadway, jazzing around, painting the town? How you gonna keep 'em away from harm? That's a mystery. Imagine Reuben when he meets his pa. He'll kiss his cheek and holler, ooh la la. How you gonna keep 'em down on the farm after they've seen Paris?
Ready? That was a great number, Eddie. And you know something? As I sat in the balcony the night you opened in that show, I'm not ashamed to tell you I cried like a baby.
Did you, Jimmy?
Yes. There you were on that stage singing, and there I was, sitting in the balcony with so much talent.
Ah, Jimmy. But you couldn't hide that talent for long, because I remember shortly after you opened at the Club Durante with an act that took the town by storm. Clayton, Jackson, and Durante. You know, Jimmy, I came down with a big party that night, and as I walked into the club, there you were on the piano singing.
I know darn well I can do without Broadway, but can Broadway do without me? Herald Square, Times Square, Columbus Circle, 96. What happened? I must have passed my station. Wait a minute.
Oh, Jimmy, what an act that was. You must have made a fortune at the Club Durante.
No, Eddie, not a penny. Everything we made went for new pianos.
But it was well worth it, James, because when you finished your act that night, Flo Ziegfeld, who was at my party, turned to me and said, who's that guy? And I answered him. I said, Mr. Ziegfeld, that's the guy with the big nose. And it wasn't long after that when Mr. Ziegfeld's new production, Showgirl, had it as star Jimmy Durante.
He saw the error of his ways. But what a change of pace for Durante to come out singing a number like Liza, Liza, skies are gray, but if you smile on me, all the clouds will roll away. Liza, Liza, don't delay.
Oh, Durante, a crooner, Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, don't blow. I want to tell you something, kid. I listened to Crosby. I listened to Dick Haymes. I listened to Sinatra. And you know something?
Yes.
I'm going to keep right on listening to them.
You're listening to me at a great disadvantage. you can hear me. But anyway, talking about songs, what do you figure is the biggest song you've had in show business, Eddie?
Well, Jimmy, in my humble opinion, I'd say it was another bride, another groom, another sunny honeymoon, another season, another reason for making whoopee.
Reddy, I've often envied you, working on all those Ziegfeld shows with those gorgeous Follies girls.
Oh, those gorgeous Follies girls, Jimmy. Let me tell you something. It's like working in a candy store. After the first day, you never bother with the candy. But, oh, that first day. Oh! Show business. It's been rather good to both of us, James. And in 40 years of show business, I think I found out why the people love the guy with the big nose. It's because the guy with the big nose has a heart to match. Yesterday they told you would not go far. That night you open and there you are.
Next day on your dressing room they hung a star. Let's go on with the show.
This is Howard Petrie with those foremost Rexall reminders for the week. Remember, next Wednesday is the opening day of the Rexall 1-cent sale celebration. Remember, next Saturday is the closing day of the biggest drugstore event in the nation. Remember, 2 Rexall items at your Rexall store for the price of 1 plus 1 cent more. Remember, the $14,000 prize contest for the ones who complete this sentence best. I buy Rexall drugs because... Folks, in just a moment, we'll switch to Detroit to hear a Rexall Sportcast with Tommy Harmon of the Los Angeles Rams, giving us his observation on some of the week's big football games. Meanwhile, from this end, we'll say Rexall for tonight from Peggy Lee, Arthur Treacher, the entire cast,
and Jimmy Durante, who says thank you to Eddie Cantor. And next week's folks, we'll have at our house nation's sweetheart, and mine too, Margaret O'Brien, at the same time, same station. Good night, Mrs. Calabash.
This program is produced and directed by Phil Cohan. Eddie Cantor appeared on this program through the courtesy of the makers of Pabst Blue Ribbon Beer. And now, for a Rexall Sportscast from Detroit, we bring you Tom Harmon.
Thank you, Howard. And now for our Rexall Game of the Week. This week, our gridiron spotlight swings from California to New York, where the mighty cadets of Army play host to the Rose Bowl champions of last year, Illinois. Last year at the Rose Bowl, most of the spectators wanted Army, and after Illinois finished with the Bruins, they were only too sorry that Army didn't make the trip. For the game this Saturday, Army, too, may wish that they had chosen another team other than Illinois. Army this year is without Davis and Blanchard to help them steamroll opponents on Saturday. The cadets are not as weak as most people think, but they will miss Mr. Inside and Mr. Outside. Illinois' main losses center around Buddy Young, Julie Reikovich, and Alex Agassi. But back leading the Illini is Perry Moss, the brilliant quarterback who engineered the UCLA defeat last January 1st. Joining Moss in a potent backfield are Steger and Duffelmeyer, 2 backs who can run at the side of daylight, and the Illini line is one of the best in the Big Nine. So let's flip a coin. You call who you want. I'll call it the end of Army's glorious win streak and a win for Illinois after a bitter battle. On behalf of Jimmy Durante and the whole gang, this is Tom Harmon saying good night and good health to all from Rexall.
This is NBC, the national broadcasting company.